a guy like the Prime Minister of the State of Israel, Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu. He's also mentioned in your book. I think I remember right when you wrote that he used to come to your family house when you were younger. The movie director Oliver Stone, the American movie director, he recently said that he once interviewed Benjamin Netanyahu some 20 years back, and he could already see it then in his eyes back then that he was a madman. And so I'm asking, maybe it's a stupid question, but as a kid, could you see back then what Oliver Stone he was able to see, thinking back?
I don't think he's a madman. He's a megalomaniac,
No?
and very ambitious.
Okay.
I don't think he's mad. I think he's an ideologue. As a kid, as kids, you look at a guy like him and his older brother who was killed in Entebbe at the Entebbe operation, as gods. I mean, there were officers. There were officers in Israel's most elite, quote unquote, commando unit. They would come back from all these operations, and we would come see them, or he would come with his uniform, and every kid wants to be a hero like that. And and I said this once before. I grew up. Many of us grew up and realized that he is a corrupt megalomaniac. Ambitious politician with absolutely zero, moral compass, zero sense of morality. And unfortunately, in America, American public, the media still behave like I did when I was 5 years old, and they're still looking at him with this admiration as though he's he's Moses coming down from the mountain. And that's a problem. But I don't know that mad is the word. I think he's just very ambitious. I think he will do absolutely anything and everything it takes to remain prime minister. And we've seen that he's been very successful so far in doing that. He's dangerous for sure, but there's nobody that's able to unseat him. There's nobody yet has been able to unseat him. And really, I think the only thing that would be appropriate is to drag him to The Hague. I don't think anything less than that is appropriate. I mean, corruption charges and all this, I mean, it's a joke compared to the, blood on his hands.
Yeah, I'm thinking about these corruption charges that's awaiting for him in the state of Israel. Do you think this is one of the reasons why why he does everything he can to continue the war in Gaza and in the West Bank, because he knows the second the war is over, he will go to court and be judged, and maybe it seems like he's also advocating for even more war. He's together with influential Republicans the other day, where they were shaking hands on going to war with Iran if that's what it took. You think that he would rather begin a third world war and bet on the third world war if it keeps him out of jail?
I don't think that this is the reason. He was not going to go to jail on October the 6th either. I mean, he was secure.
Okay.
He has he's maneuvered the political system, the Israeli political system. He's safe. He's not going to jail. I don't think it doesn't even show up in the Israeli press anymore. But this whole court thing, it's a non-issue. He wasn't going to jail. Politically, he's very secure. He's got a very safe majority in the Knesset, in the Israeli parliament, and I don't think that's the issue at all. He's going to war because he believes he's a Zionist, and the genocide of the Palestinian people is a central pillar in Zionism. Genocide, that's what it's all about. If we look at, to prove genocide, you have to show intent. Well, when you have 75-year history of actions that read like a textbook of genocide, if we look at the Genocide Convention, at the description of the crime of genocide, and we compare it to what has been happening in Palestine for 75 years, it's textbook. I mean, so intent is very clear. They've been doing it for 75 years, because not only massacring people and displacing people, it's also destroying their identity, destroying their history, destroying their monuments, destroying their country, changing the name of the country from Palestine to Israel, change the name of cities. In places where they didn't change, like Haifa, they changed the name of the streets. And so, Palestinians have to drive through the names of streets that used to be, Palestinian names, and now they're the names of Israeli war criminals. And this is true throughout all the cities, all the Palestinian cities in 1948. But anyway, so genocide is a central pillar of Zionism. And he's just doing his bit to push that forward as much as he can. That's what he believes in, and that's what he does.